Hey guys, this is Crystal, one of your co-hosts from the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. If you're looking for a unique, handcrafted way to spruce up your home or office, then collagenwood.com is the perfect place for you. We are a small, woman-owned business that offers a range of beautiful wooden signs for your home or office. Our talented team of artists will work with you to create a sign that perfectly suits your needs. So why wait? Use promo code SIMPLE10 to save 10%. Visit collagenwood.com today. Save 10% with promo code SIMPLE10. That's collagenwood.com.
With blogging, I mean, people, and we've probably done this, people always make a big stink about like how many words, how long is it? What are you sharing? Are there enough images? And with the helpful content update, and I'll link to that too, but with the helpful content update that Google did, I just need to make sure I'm helping the people I'm intending to help with the information that I'm sharing.
Hello and welcome to the Simple and Smart SEO Show,
where we provide tips and advice to improve your website's search engine ranking.
I'm Brittany Herzberg, SEO copywriter for holistic health and wellness pros who want to show up as the answer to a Googled question.
And I'm Waddell, an e-commerce seller and content creator. I help business owners communicate the value of their products and services through content so you can make more sales and grow your business.
We're business besties who love learning and sharing what we've learned. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome back to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, B. How are you?
Hello.
B?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm like, obviously I'm excited. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Today is a special episode because rather than record something new, we are actually going to take this opportunity in the new year to reflect on 3 of our favorite episodes from our first year of the podcast. And so, yeah, we are both very excited to share. And, we just want to encourage you to go back and listen to some of these episodes if you haven't before, or if you were like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And, you want to, just revisit it. We're going to touch base on our favorites today.
Yes. And to be clear, it's each of our favorite 3. So you're going to end up with 6 episodes that you could potentially revisit or go listen to for the first time.
Yes. Okay. So how about you, B? Like what was your favorite episode? Your first one?
My first favorite episode, I'm going to share a little bit and then tell you what the episode is.
Okay.
So I don't know that I've communicated this with you, but we have a lot of guests that they're friends of mine. So we end up just having regular conversations anyway. So many people are like, how's my episode doing? Am I in the top 5? I didn't realize how many competitive people we have. And, I'm also like a little bit competitive. And this episode is one that I consider my episode. And so I'm very proud that it's held the number 1 spot for a minute. But it's the live audit, the one where it was on the fly. So I'll get into like a little bit of like why I loved it, but it was on the fly. You and I were just sitting there and I was like, well, we could record this. And you're like, okay. So we recorded it and lo and behold, people really love it. I think the only reason why I love this episode so much is because it was me being vulnerable and it helped other people. And that's something that I've leaned into my entire life. So to be able to see this like still continuing, even with business, it's just like, it makes my heart so happy.
That is awesome. And I just looked it up and that is episode 17, listen to a live SEO audit.
And we'll link it as well. So if you don't have to go back and sift, we'll make sure that we link it.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you get out of that episode?
That I wasn't doing as poorly as I thought. I am similar to many other humans in that, like, I am my harshest critic and I wasn't doing as poorly as I thought. And it's motivated me I saw that Google really still thinks of me as a massage therapist. And while I need Google to recognize me more as an SEO and case study copywriter. So with this year, my plan for 2023, and it's an ambitious one, and I'm going to be very gracious if this doesn't happen, if I fall short in air quotes or whatever. But my very ambitious goal is to get 1 blog post out per week. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty. It's probably not going to be optimized to the nth degree, but that SEO optimization stuff will be there. the headline, the URL, all of that stuff, and probably at least one image. So it's an ambitious goal, but I'm going to do it because I need Google to see me as a copywriter.
Yeah, absolutely. And as an authority in copywriting, right? So I love it. A lot of times people ask me, they'll say, well, does it matter when you're, blogging? Do you need to do it once a week or, all that type of stuff?
Right.
And my only comment to that is just like, make sure that you do what is sustainable, because I've had some people say, oh, I'm going to do like 2 or 3 blogs a week. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but just make sure it's sustainable because yes, Google will reward you for that if you're consistent, but it might actually work against you, in the long run, if you, batch create a whole bunch of blogs at once. And then,
right.
So I like that you're committing to like a consistent schedule. That's really good.
Yeah. And with blogging, I mean, people, and we've probably done this, people always make a big stink about like how many words, how long is it? What are you sharing? Are there enough images? And with the helpful content update, and I'll link to that too, but with the helpful content update that Google did, I just need to make sure I'm helping the people I'm intending to help with the information that I'm sharing. And that might be a really long blog post. If I have the time and I have the inspiration and I have the stuff to share, it might be on the shorter side. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm being consistent with putting things out. And I might revisit the goal. I don't know, but that's at least where I'm starting.
Yeah. And I think you're in an interesting place too, because you're a case study copywriter, you are going to probably have some additional content that you might not have even really thought about in terms of your blog once you start writing it. And, writing long blog posts, could be hard. But when you also have a whole bunch of information that you've already captured, it makes it a lot easier,
Yeah,
So.
it does. And that's, I think I shared with you what I plan to do, and that's to share. I really haven't been good about turning these podcast episodes into blog posts, but that's going to be some of the blog posts with our transcripts that you've so graciously put together, and a mix of the case studies, whether that's me going through a program, something I bought for my dog, Jack, or I have a long one planned for Airbnb, but I might need to wait until after I need them.
Ooh, do I see an affiliate link in your future?
I don't think so. I don't think Airbnb is going to like me after my review.
Ooh, okay.
No. Yeah. So stay tuned. That's a major teaser. But so that's my first one. What was your first one?
Man, my first one goes back to Ashleigh Chanél.
My birthday 13.
Twin. So I loved what she said. Like not all ROI is monetary.
Yeah.
And she was like, you need to think about the return on effort, the ROE versus the ROI. And I was like,
that caught me too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. So I thought, well, first, it just stood out. I still think about it to this day. You know what I mean? Like just randomly as I'm working on different things, I think about that concept of return on effort, and I think because I started with Pinterest, I just naturally fell into that. I need content that works for me for a long time. It was very easy for me to be turned off by Instagram because last year they kicked me out of my account,
right.
because they said I was impersonating myself. And
that was weird.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why I would want to impersonate me, when I could just be me, but whatever. So, but that happened right before a thing I was actually going to launch. I was actually going to do a workshop, and I was like, and my audience was primarily on Instagram. It was like a cross between Instagram and Clubhouse. And it really frustrated me. And it turned my heart, if you will, against Instagram. I was like, I will never fully trust you again,
Sure. Why would you?
Yeah. And then it also happened with Pinterest, because Pinterest went through so many changes. And it's like, I'm telling people, oh yeah, you should use Pinterest and and then Pinterest would change. And I was agile with the changes, but it was frustrating that I would tell somebody something that was working 1 week and 3 weeks later, it may not be a best practice anymore. And so, Pinterest also broke a little bit of my heart. I could no longer trust Pinterest.
And this is how we're doing SEO.
Yeah. Well, then I had that Whitney Houston moment where it's like, I decided long ago never to live in any platform's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll know that I believe, so I had to depend on me, B. I had to depend on me.
I'm just laughing.
And I had to depend on SEO, and that's how I fell into SEO. So going back to Ashleigh's episode, that whole idea of return on effort was like, this is something I can guarantee, my effort and my website and my email list and my company investing in myself, that's an ROI and an ROE that I can really, be confident within. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. And even, so this year, my tie-in with that is that I really didn't invest in anything. There were more things where I invested in me, or I specifically, like Dahlia Orth, I hired her to help me with the back end of HoneyBook, because I was like, I need these systems and workflows together. Like I need them. I need to just be over here and look more professional and have things that are working without me. And I'm not ready yet to have a team. So I've been very strategic with, instead of buying into programs, I've been buying into people. So, I've had Meg Elaney as my business coach. I hired Dahlia for that stuff with HoneyBook. I've had more of like those strategic investments versus I felt like, to your point, I felt like I was trusting other people to be the experts and other people to be my guides when I'd already done enough research. And I know that that's a weak point for me where I over research. So yay for you for trusting yourself, because you know a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. My dad is always telling me this, he's like, you are the expert, but I'm like, I have to gather. I have to make sure that I touch base with this expert to make sure that I'm giving the right information. And it's like, we synthesize so much as business owners. And, it's like, I wish I could remember the lady who said this, but she's like, one day you just got to wake up and realize you are the expert. It's like, there's no one else to ask, you have to look within and just reflect on what you're doing, how it's going, and then, move forward with that information. But yeah, it's a nice feeling though, to know that, to this point, we can confidently come before other people and say, hey, this is how the internet works, or this is what's working right now, or this is how you can improve your SEO. And one thing I just wanted to add is that I'm going to be presenting to photographers this year.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about this event that I'll be speaking at. And, so it's really nice that I can confidently go in there and say, I know how I can help you. I know how I can help you make your website load faster. I know how you can, get more eyeballs on your website and for your business. So yes, this whole idea of return on effort is really starting to manifest, and I love that.
That's amazing. And just like another thought that came to me while you were sharing that is that sometimes the way you can see your return on effort is the feedback that you get. And I know you and I constantly, like almost daily, get emails, text messages, Voxer messages, Instagram DMs, whatever, where people are like, oh my gosh, I learned this from the show. I heard you say this, or they'll piece it together months down the road. And they're like, I remember you said the thing. And like, now I get the thing. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been huge. Also, even just like you and I love watching our stats. So we're always like in the back end of Buzzsprout going like, what's happening with the podcast? And like, as of today, we're over 8,000 downloads. Woohoo! Like that will never not blow my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, look at us being experts.
Nice. Okay. So that was our first one. So, go back and listen to the Ashleigh Chanél episode.
And there's actually two with her.
Yeah. Like it's SEO dying. Yeah. SEO dying was one of them. And I just love that title. And she was talking about how to use ads and that type of thing. And then yours, what was yours one more time?
Live audit.
The live audit. Yeah. So that was
which I
really
think was
helpful.
episode 17. Yeah. They were amazing. Okay. So my second one comes on the heels of you talking about how much you don't love Instagram. It was the Instagram episode, and I'm not sure what number it is, but we'll find that for you and we'll link it. But the cool thing with that one has been that I get so many people in my DMs where they're asking about certain things related to SEO and or Instagram, and I'll just send them that episode. And it is really cool for me to, like, it's such a good feeling to be able to go, oh, I talked about this. Here, go listen to this. Instead of what I would normally do is spend 15 to 20 minutes in the DMs with these people because I love that. And I jokingly say that I spend too much time on Instagram, but I like for sure spend too much time on Instagram because I love, and specifically in my DMs, because I love the connections. I love the conversations. Yeah, it was episode 4, way back when, but we went through, I want to say it was like 7 different elements of SEO within Instagram, whether it's your profile or the content you're putting out. So highly recommend going back and listening to that. And I don't know that it's really changed much of what I do, but it has definitely changed, like just that episode has changed, me having that answer that I can send people, which I love. It's just such a succinct, like, here you go. And then they end up listening to different episodes, which is neat.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I want to say I still love Instagram. I just don't trust Instagram,
it. Right.
And trust is such an important thing. That's like a core value for me. It's like, if I can't trust you, I'll take what I can learn, I'll take what I can get, but I'm going to leave a lot too, because I don't trust you. So, so that's my relationship with Instagram. But what I loved about that episode is that you shared so much. And then not long after that, people started talking about Instagram SEO.
No,
and I was we was on the,
forefront.
Yes, the forefront of that. And
I was on the front lines.
You were a thought leader. You still are a thought leader, but
I'm like, brave people are on the front lines of things I shouldn't say.
The internet front lines. So but you really kind of blazed a trail though, in terms of that, and really opened my eyes to thinking, wow, SEO shows up on every platform. And that's a conversation that we continue to have today. So
I know. And that's something that, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that you recognize that. That makes me feel very good. But SEO is everywhere. It's not just your blogs. It's not just your website. And I love bringing attention to that. So that's really cool that we started there. And now we have other experts that we're bringing on and highlighting them. And we've had Selena for LinkedIn, and we've had other people. We have other people in the works for 2023, and I'm going to explode with excitement. So, just stay tuned, people.
Yeah. Can I just drop something that I know we're going to be having an episode on Etsy SEO?
Yes, we are.
For all those makers
and
out there.
I will not be leading it. So, you're in good hands.
Yeah. And we are bringing along another expert for that one, but I'm super excited because Etsy's another one that I love, but do not trust. So, it'll be fun to talk about how SEO plays a role there as well. So,
for sure. All right. Who's up next for you?
Oh man, who is up next for me? As you're talking about this and you're dropping names and different episodes, I'm like, oh
we got to go back and find them.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love that episode too. How did I forget about this? So, this may be a part 1. My other favorite episodes, every single one of them. But I think it was Sunny, meeting Sunny. That was just one of our most recent episodes. And she was just so encouraging, and she really spoke to my heart because she was someone who helps marketing or helps people with their marketing, small businesses with their marketing, and also helps women kind of reimagine themselves in the workplace or, re-engage in the workplace. And just, she really spoke to my heart because of the fact that, I stopped working as a teacher when Asher was a baby, and there's that element of like, who am I and what do I contribute, to society? And it only took a few really bad situations for me to realize, for me, the most important thing was being Asher's mom, even though I didn't want to just be seen as Asher's mom. I couldn't fight it. That was what really brought me the most joy. It's like, I want to be there for him. I want to be Asher's mom and, be able to pick him up from school every day and that type of stuff. I hope nobody's watching this. So it was just really neat to hear someone so smart and encouraging, talking about the things that we talk about, also about content and just about life, because online business is so weird. First of all, like remembering to take a shower.
I definitely did. If you can see my drowned rat look for the day.
Well, I never heard anybody talk about that. When you work from home, it's like every day turns into Saturday in a way. And it's like this black hole of what is even happening here? You know what I mean? Like you're working on stuff. And it's not like you're getting up and going to the office every day. I wasn't getting up and going to school every day. So I didn't have that particular routine,
Yeah.
So I just think it's so funny that there is all of these sides of working for yourself or creating a business and working online primarily that people just don't talk about. And so I thought it was fun, to be able to share with different people, and especially Sunny, about what that looks like. So
yeah. No, I think my favorite part of the episode, and I'm not really sure, or the interview, I'm not sure how much of it made it into the episode, was like my dog was doing something, your dog was doing something, her dog was doing something. And it's like, she was apologizing. I'm like, we get it. Like that is a huge reason in my heart and head of like why we do the podcast the way we do it. It's conversational. It's casual. Like, I don't care if people show up with makeup on. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even doing it. You listening to this, all you care about is what we tell you. And the best feedback that I keep, and the best, right, with your tooth. And the best thing, the feedback that we keep getting that I'm seeing is that people really feel like a fly on the wall. They feel like they're sitting down and having a conversation with us. And I think that is so cool because I love those episodes. When I'm listening, whether it's our show or somebody else's, like I love consuming that. So I just wanted to highlight that. And, we're real people with real dogs that do real things. So, yeah.
And real questions about, did I take a shower today? And I'm sorry, I may be alone out there, but I think someone is listening to this going, thank you.
No, someone's going to be. Yeah.
I felt like that as well.
I didn't. Right. And like, that's one thing that's been cool with meeting you and working with you and just getting closer to you is that I have certain struggles. You have other certain struggles. For me, going from working in a massage office 5 days a week to going full time at whatever house I'm living at the time in whatever state that I'm in, which feels really unsettling. It really does. I'll come back to that in a minute. It hasn't been so hard because my daily routine I'm still figuring out what that looks like, but I still wake up in the morning at the same time. I still have breakfast. I still take a shower. I still get ready. Like I do those things. So for me, that's not the struggle, but a struggle for me is like feeling like an imposter 80% of my week. And I shouldn't. And I'm like still kind of working through that. But okay. So to go back to the whole, like living in different houses, different Airbnbs in different cities and states, if you've ever heard of human design, it's kind of like astrology meets some other stuff. But your environment is a big part of what they share. And with my type, in air quotes, what that type does is they find a spot in whatever place they are, and that's their spot. And for sure, 100,000%, that's me. I'll go to a house and I'll just kind of like gravitate toward like whatever corner feels like my home. And then I don't leave. Like all my stuff just stays in that corner. So yeah. I
have a picture of you like playing hide and go seek and counting or something. That's the type of corner that I'm envisioning right now. I'm
essentially,
like,
yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So yeah, we love Sunny.
All right. So what's your number 3?
I really so I loved all of our guests. I don't think there's a single person that I didn't love. And so many of them came into this experience as friends of mine. And we have a joke about just like, or in my head, at least, how like holidays we have, we're on the heels of a few big holidays and you go to extend the table and you just add those like leaves to the table.
Yeah.
I just feel like I want a giant table with all of my friends. And since I don't have that, I have a massive like podcast list that you can scroll through and it's like, here's some of my friends. So I loved everyone that we had, but I think my personal favorite episode was Brenna's because I knew there was something there with pre-launch and SEO, but the connections and the goods really showed up in that interview. And I don't know if like you listening have ever had this moment where you're doing something or you're in a meeting or maybe you've been in a podcast interview and it just hits you and you're like, oh, this is like, and you can kind of feel it happening. But that definitely happened with me with Brenna's episode.
Yes. And I want to give a shout out to Brenna because I actually have implemented her idea of pre-launch into my entire 2023 plan.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so again, going back to Pinterest is very similar to the pre-launch idea because you have to prepare for Pinterest like way in advance, like 3 months, 6 months in advance or whatever. So essentially what I did was I created a calendar that was my Pinterest / pre-launch, column. And then, my monthly focus. And so that idea of pre-launch just really framed everything for me for the year. And it was so quick to be able to say, okay, this is what I want to launch, in March, or, this is what I'm doing in March. And so I need to be working on a pre-launch, now for those things that are happening in March. And so I love that so much. And I've implemented it, it's going to be a core part of both businesses for 2023. And so, that was an amazing episode.
Yeah. And I think there's so many parts of it that I love, but really it kept coming back to being intentional. And that's one of my biggest values is just, being intentional. And actually I don't know if you do this, but I always kind of for the last 5 years or so, I've chosen a word for the year. And that's the one that keeps showing up for me is just intentional, being intentional. So I love that you have incorporated the pre-launch aspect into 2023. And something that I want to just remind all of us of is that we can be pre-launching anything. We can be launching anything, your freebie, your podcast, your paid products or paid packages. It doesn't matter. Brenna said it well, and I'll butcher it, I'm sure, but just it's pre-launch is just putting emphasis and bringing awareness to different things. So I feel like it really just, fits well with SEO. It fits well with your SWOT analyses. What's the plural of that? Oh my gosh. Your SWOT analysis that you do for yourself. There, we'll just make it singular. So I'm really excited to see that play out for you. And it was such a joy talking with her. And, if you haven't listened to it, but you feel like you don't launch anything, I highly recommend going back and listening to it because it applies, period.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that really stuck out to me, and I still remember as well, is she talked about Hollywood movies, and how when they release a movie, they start releasing the trailers months and months and months ahead of when the actual movie. So it's by the time the movie gets there, you almost feel like you've already seen it, but you're expecting it, you're just waiting to give somebody your money so you can go see it. Whereas, if you hadn't been talking about it, people wouldn't know to even go, so it's just, it's such a different, perspective.
It is.
No movie would ever just say, oh, we're in movie theaters today.
No.
Right.
And if you're, what was it? Top Gun, then you're oh, we're in production. Oh, wait, we're going to come out this year. Oh, wait, we're going to move it this year. They just kept pushing it out.
Yeah.
And I
just watched that last night.
And thoughts?
Oh, that was the 15th time. I love that movie. Maverick?
The first one or the second one? Did you watch the new
second one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's on my list. My parents actually lived in San Diego and they lived near Miramar. I'm probably screwing up the name, but they lived near there during the time that they were filming the first one.
Wow.
So yeah, that movie
cool.
has a special place in all of our hearts. I got to go watch that. But yeah, I hadn't put two and two together to even think about the movie trailers and how they released those so early. And yet I pay attention to that, or even concerts and events and just getting those ticket sales. They have to tell you so much in advance. And so the artist or whoever has to let you know, hey, I've got some things coming. Hey, pay attention. Hey, whatever. So yeah, just very eye-opening.
I know we have to go in a minute. We're not even to our third one, or I'm not to my third one, but I just have to say really quick. I also implemented the pre-launch into my e-commerce site. Oh. And so every month I'm doing a special sale of hey, early bird special,
Oh, cool.
Because I was thinking, just with the concerts and different things, it's how good must that feel as an artist to know that your concert is already sold out before you even perform.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
All the stress is gone, so it's if I'm,
well, then it's the stress of actually showing up and doing a good job.
Yeah.
That's where my stress would show up.
But that's what they do. That's their thing, so it's but March, maybe we're doing some shamrock cutouts, right? Mm-hmm. So I can start saying, hey, free sale in January for the shamrock cutouts. And people can see that every month up until the actual, month of March. And March is, regular price. But I think people start to realize, oh, if I want these things in advance, I can get them here for cheaper at this time. And, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Okay, I do want to hear your third. So who or what is your third?
I gotta hurry up here. Okay. My third, is the dictionary episode.
I love that one.
I can't wait until we record a part two. I mean, that dictionary episode is one of our top downloads as well. And it's just, understanding the jargon, of the industry. And I think a lot of times the jargon gets in our way of being able to implement different things. So the dictionary episode, absolutely love it.
I love that one. It's another one that I will share with people when they email or DM me. Actually, like that might be the one that I share more often because I've had so many people come to me and just say like, I didn't know what this was. And then I listened to the thing. And so now I know what it is. Or they're like, what do I need to know about this? I'm like, oh, here, this.
Yeah. Well, and you're inspiring me right now because so many times when people ask me questions, I forget that we've covered it. You know what I mean? And so you're so right to say, oh my gosh, we now have this library of resources that we can share with you to say, hey, check this out. This might help you get unstuck right here or whatever. And so, that's a really good point as well, because people.
And even if it's not like an episode, just saying, hey, go back and check out the podcast and scroll. And like, because you have been so strategic with the titles of the episodes, it's easy to scroll and figure out like which ones they need to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, all of it has just been so much fun. I remember you said we should start a podcast. And like you said, with the being a fly on the wall, that's what I've loved the most is just that, we could record our conversations. And it's like we're having a conversation with, thousands of people at the same time. It's so fun. It's just so fun to think that we're all, in this together, So I love that. And on that note.
Yes.
We have something.
What do we have?
Okay.
I feel like not Bob Barker. What's the guy that does it like? Maybe I am Bob Barker.
You are Bob Barker. You're talking about The Price is Right.
Yeah. Who's the guy?
Yeah, the SEO is right. That's what we're talking about today. But okay, so if you go and leave us a review, most likely it's probably iTunes, because most of us
based on our statistics.
Yeah, but if it's somewhere else, that's fine. All we need you to do is to take a screenshot of that. And then tag us on Instagram. And you can tag us at Simple and Smart SEO on Instagram. We have a new Instagram account. We'll be working on that in 2023.
We finally got smart.
Yes. But it's a very simple account.
It is. Yes, intentionally.
Yeah. So, but if you do that, we have this really cool Laurel Denise planner. It's a shop on Etsy. She makes these really cool planners. They're great for people with attention deficit. And if you just need a new planner for 2023, it's got you covered with notes and all sorts of different stuff. So take a screenshot of your review, tag us on Instagram at Simple and Smart SEO, and you will be entered into the giveaway for this beautiful planner.
Yay. And we'll probably make a post about this and give you an idea of like timeline. Because right now it's just an idea that we had, but we'll give you the specifics as we figure them out.
Yeah. But the planner's real. And if you're watching this real on YouTube,
yes, we have a video.
It is.
It's right there. It's navy blue. Yeah. It's really cute.
So nice.
Super awesome.
I've got a flower one and I love it. So
well, this is good because it could be for anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Guy, girl, other. So
yay.
Yeah.
On that happy note, I think that's it because I know we both got a scoot.
Yeah. So great episode. Loved our first year.
Yes. Thank you for being here and listening and sharing and telling people and all of that because it really is meaningful to both of us.
Yes, we appreciate you so much. So yeah, and my tooth fell out. It's not back in.
Cheers to 2023, everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today.
If you like this info, subscribe before you go so you never miss out on something related to SEO.
See you next time.